After Twitter shadow bans top conservatives, Trump makes them regret it. News broke this week that Twitter is deliberately shadow banning leading Republicans while helping out Democrats. Word quickly spread, outraging millions of users. Now, President Donald Trump has spoken out. Vice News released a bombshell report that will surprise none of you. For a very long time, many conservatives have felt discriminated against online. Major social media platforms seem to be suppressing their posts. From YouTube to Facebook to Twitter, once prominent conservatives found their viewers and impact declining. This all happened after the election of Donald Trump. It seemed that these liberal on social sites panicked. Few people follow the mainstream media anymore, the left's main propaganda arm. So much is happening online, it might very well affect elections. After all, Donald Trump expertly used social media to reach voters, even Mark Zuckerberg thanked him for that. Soon after the election, things began to change. Social networks tweaked their algorithms on the presumption they were cracking down on fake news. Instead, conservatives were all but silenced. This was particularly bad on Twitter, who started openly banning conservatives. Notable Trump supporters, like Milo Yiannopoulos, were kicked off the platform after being framed for breaking the rules. Many others, from top conservatives to everyday patriots, found that nobody was seeing their posts. It's a practice known as shadow banning. Twitter denied this, of course. The left pretended it didn't exist until news outlet Vice broke the story. Vice also revealed that Democrats were not being shadow banned in the same way. DNC Chair Tom Perez and other liberals, like unhinged psycho Maxine Waters, appear prominently on the social network. Now, thanks to one liberal outlet's story, people suddenly care about Twitter's abusive practices. For almost 2 years, conservatives have been complaining. But only after Vice broke the story, has the wider media spectrum started to talk about it. It has finally reached the White House, where Donald Trump made a big promise. President Trump most likely hasn't suffered from Twitter's shadow ban. That kind of move would have been too obvious. Twitter, like other liberal rats, has to be somewhat subtle in the ways they censor conservatives. They have to target visible, but not super famous, conservatives, thus eroding our influence online. The fact is more and more people are joining the right. They have grown sick of the left's radical platform. Twitter had no choice but to slow this movement. But they couldn't just ban Ronna McDaniel. Despite what the left says, we aren't racists. McDaniel and other conservatives aren't spewing hateful rhetoric, unlike Maxine Waters. So Twitter simply hid her account, so new followers wouldn't find her. Welcome to 1984, folks. Now that Donald Trump is speaking out about this issue, expect things to change. When you have one of the most visible users on Twitter confronting the issue, who is also the most powerful man in the world, things will happen. Twitter won't be too pleased if the President of the United States is calling them to task for how they treat conservatives. Already, the word is spreading that Twitter has corrected the error. But much more has to be done to ensure